Welcome everybody to the N-Word to Nerd for Nerd podcast. Man, I'm so excited I can't even get it out because we have a jam-packed show for you today. Without further ado, we're going to jump right into our host, starting off with the token white guy who I just only hired for diversity because affirmative action does work both ways. Let's say what's going on to Jaron.
I'm a diversity hire.
As always, I'm here with my Ace Boon Coon, the original, the first, the Duke of all nerds. Again, I remember people forget if you listen to the first episode, I was trying to name him the King of all nerds, and because he's such a humble individual, he goes, King would be too much to carry, so I just want to be the Duke. So, as the modest one would say, welcome everybody, Duke of all nerds, Jason. What's going on?
Hey everybody, Ace Boon Coon, is that a thing? I never heard of that before.
Oh man, that's up. No, if you don't know about that Ace Boon Coon.
I never heard of that.
Oh boy, that's like peanut butter and jelly, ham and cheese.
My white guilt sense was tingling when you said that.
Like, can you say that word?
I was like,
yeah, yes. Don't worry, Jaron. It is safe for you to say it in certain company.
I'm just gonna.
Not if you're talking about the animal, it's okay.
Right.
It's full on raccoon.
Like I said, I should introduce myself, Corny J, the corny one in the building. So, like I said, again, we have a very jam-packed show for you. Please remember to share, like, and subscribe. Also, go ahead and comment. Let us know how you feel about us and our takes and our stupidity and etc. If people don't know, we are going to start making sure that this show is way more segmented. We've heard you guys' calls and cries, and we're going to do it for you. So we will have the long audio version up for podcast listeners, where, again, you can check out the podcast on Spotify, Apple, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, anywhere you listen to a podcast, we are probably there. You'll have the long form. If you go onto YouTube, because you know what? Sitting here for 2 hours and seeing our beautiful faces is a lot. And I understand you will enjoy it, but we want to keep the beauty for the other viewers as well that just only want to see certain things. So we will have a lot more segmented content up on the YouTube channel and Facebook as well, so that if you just want to listen to our review of, the Suicide Squad, you can just go right to that and listen to that and enjoy that with us. So again, thank you guys for listening, watching, and like I said,
thanks, Mom, for watching.
Smash that like button, subscribe. Yes, my mom always watches and tells me I curse too much, so but hit that like button, subscribe.
You have to use that kind of language.
Absolutely, 100%. So let's jump into our remix and our top list. So every week we come in with a top 3. I think one time we did a top 5, but this time we're going to do announcing the worst superhero movie bracket, ladies and gentlemen. So the rules of this game is going to be that we are going to pick the worst movie out of the matchups. Not the best, not the one you enjoyed the most, the worst one, the one that you probably want to see the least out of the 2 matchups. So Jason and Jaron both provided me their top 3, and then I added a little spice on it to make a 4, and we're going to do this up in quadrants. There's no rhyme or reason to this. So before people go, why is that with that one? And that should be ranked this number. Guys, I literally just wrote all the names down and randomized and picked them out, and that's what we went with. So don't harass me. All right, starting out with Jason's bracket. So Jason,
or if you're gonna harass us, do it in the comments.
Yeah.
Yes, there you
Engagement.
go. Yeah,
but only harass Jason number
only,
1,
only
not
Jason.
Jason number 8.
Just don't at me, bro.
Yeah, you can at me. I don't care. I'm here for the smoke. All right, so Jason's bracket we have here. We're going to look at, he has Suicide Squad as a 1 seed, not the new one, but the old one, and versus the Green Lantern. Jason, who will you take in this matchup?
Suicide Squad on all day. Green Lantern at least has Ryan Reynolds in it, and he is beautiful. He can do no wrong. So Suicide Squad all day. Fuck that movie. I would fight it if it was a person.
Okay. Jaron, your thoughts?
I mean, yeah, Ryan Reynolds, even when he's bad, he's good. And I mean, I love that when he's in a bad thing, he gets to make fun of it later in other movies. It almost makes it a little more palatable when he's like, don't make my super suit, animated or whatever. So yeah, I agree.
All right, I think we're unanimous there because I think Suicide Squad, besides just being a bad movie, it's just a mess. The sequencing's off. If you watch certain scenes that happen in it, it doesn't link to what's going on in the movie.
It doesn't make sense. It like from shot to shot, it does not make visual sense. It's ridiculous. It's like
I see why David Ayer had an issue with it. They pretty much butchered that movie if he didn't butcher it himself. So Yeah, let's go on with that. Our next one, if I can get this thing to work, is in Jason's bracket is Wonder Woman 84, which was a surprise entry to me, but I guess not for him, versus not the Snyder cut, but the original Joss Whedon, Zack Snyder mashup Justice League. Jason, who do you got here?
Jeez, this is a hard one. I'm going to have to go with Justice League because at least some people liked Wonder Woman 84. I might not have, but some people did.
Did they?
I don't think anybody liked the Justice League. That movie, speaking about being, cut to hell, that was cut to hell. All right. It was, you have Zack Snyder, who is obviously the worst person to do anything fun with, unless it's like a zombie movie. Do it first. And then you have Josh Whedon come in there and abuse everybody and try to add his spin to it. It was, Justice League's going to have to be the winner of this one.
All right. Jaron, your thoughts?
Oh, man, I'm going to disagree. See, Justice League was trash, but Justice League was the product of somebody starting something, somebody coming in and trying to rewrite something, and then, being bad at it. Wonder Woman was trash all on its own. It was one vision, one person, and she managed to suck it all the way up. So,
wow, that puts me in the non-envious position
tiebreaker.
Of being the tiebreaker. I you know what? I am going to go Justice League for one reason only. You know how hard it is to mess up a movie when you have the holy trinity of comic book characters, Superman,
exactly.
Batman, and Wonder Woman. You know how hard that is to mess up because everybody that went into that movie was rooting for it to do good. Like you were willing to accept almost anything as long as it was coherent, and it wasn't even coherent. So for me, I'm going to have to go the mashup of Justice League, the Whedon's Justice League.
Yeah,
and I'll even just label it that going forward.
I gotta make one more point just because I feel like it needs to be said. Justice League was coming off of Batman versus Superman, so everybody's like, you already had a lower expectation. Wonder Woman took a fucking dive off a cliff compared to the first Wonder Woman. The first Wonder Woman was great, so expectations were high, and it sucked even harder.
It was definitely a step down.
Came in really fucking tepid because of everything.
All right, Jaron, you had your moment to prove your case. Right. It's over. Let's continue on. Then you have your own bracket, so you can start off everything now. Here, Jaron's bracket. Here we have Catwoman versus Jonah Hex. Jaron, who are you taking in this matchup?
I'm not the hugest fan of Westerns or whatever Jonah Hex was, but Catwoman was still 1,000 times worse. Like, wow, it's Catwoman without question.
Okay, Jason. Oh, let me go. I'll go second so that you can all. If it comes down, you'll be a tiebreaker. I'm gonna go Jonah Hex, man. Jonah Hex it's nigh almost unwatchable. Like Catwoman, it has moments. Catwoman has a couple of moments, and it's goofy moments I don't want to remember, like the basketball scene. But Catwoman has moments that you can enjoy. I don't think there's anything in Jonah Hex that I can enjoy at all. Like it is
Megan Fox.
She's terrible in it. Like give me Transformers. Megan Fox is just punched over. Like it's something that I can enjoy. So I guess you will be the tiebreaker on this one, Duke of Nerds.
All right, so at least Catwoman, or at least Jonah Hex, had something resembling the character of Jonah Hex. Catwoman is basically the name of a movie starring a woman who has cat powers. It's not Catwoman from the comic books or anything remotely resembling a Catwoman that we know. So I'm going to go with Catwoman.
All right. Catwoman moves on to the next round as one of the worst superhero movies of all time. Next, we have Elektra. Ooh, if I don't mess this up again. Next, we have Elektra versus the Phantom. Jaron, which one are you taking here? Elektra versus the Phantom.
God, this is hard. They're both really bad. What's her face in Electric couldn't act. Like I've seen her act in other movies where she wasn't horrible. Like wasn't like as just bad as she is in this one.
30 going on 30.
Yeah. Oh, the Phantom. I'm gonna have to say the Phantom's worst in these two, but only by, and I mean a slim margin.
Okay. Hey, I'm lockstep with you, man. The Phantom with Billy Zane is it's horrendous, man. It's horrendous. It's horrendous, man. Can I say one more time? It's horrendous. It makes it worse. And just people like the Phantom came out around at the time with like The Shadow, and The Shadow's a really good movie, but it got
Really
trashed because the Phantom was so bad that people were like, "Nah, we good." And I think even Batman and Robin might have came out around that time too. The point is that The Shadow is the movie you guys shouldn't have watched with Alec Baldwin. Really good, but the Phantom's terrible. Jason, what are your thoughts?
Well, no matter what I say, since it's already 2 votes, it's going to be The Phantom. I remember liking The Phantom, but I was a child at the time when I watched it. So so I would say Elektra, but I'll just go ahead just for unity's sake. I'll go with The Phantom too.
Oh, what a team player there! What a team player!
What do you think the design idea behind that costume was? Like,
it was created in like the 1920s, so there was no design idea. It's like, what can we get away with our newspaper? Okay, a guy in purple suit, run it.
Right,
right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is my list, so I will officially start. My number one worst superhero movie I think of all time is The Spirit, and that is going against arguably one of the worst Fantastic Four movies, which is very hard to do because all of them have been bad. So Fantastic Four stick. Yeah, so Fantastic Four stick, as people like to call it, versus The Spirit. I'm going to go The Spirit because it is my number one thing, but also the rumor is that there was a different cut of the Fantastic Four stick, which probably still sucked. But with that being known, it probably was not much better, but maybe gives a little bit more better than The Spirit. So let's go with you, Jason, as number 2, and then we finish with Jaren on this one. Jason, what's your thoughts?
At least Fan Four Stick was directed by someone who knew what he was doing, even though it was bad. The Spirit was directed by Frank Miller, who had never directed anything before, and you can tell. So I'm going to go with The Spirit. And he was just basically trying to cop off of, Sin City 1. He was just trying to, copy that. No, The Spirit sucks. It's so terrible. It's so bad.
Jaren, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm not putting up any fight here. You guys are dead on as far as I'm concerned. Yeah.
So The Spirit advances. Oh man, good for The Spirit. This is the one thing that The Spirit
it's winning something.
Right. And speaking of Frank Miller again, here we go. Sin City 2 is my number 3 choice, and then Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm going to probably go Sin City 2. And I know Superman 4 sucks, but I'm going to be real with you. The only reason I'm not going to pick Superman 4 because they did get Reeves back, they did get Hackman back, and they did get Margaret back. And yeah, and I'm a Superman homer, guys. So you can't expect me to vote the movie with Superman in it higher. So I'm going Sin City 2. What do you got, Jason?
I would go for Sin City 2 as well, only because of the nostalgia factor for our man, Christopher Reeves. He's still, even though that movie was terrible, he's still, at this point, the best Superman ever. So, Sin City 2.
Facts. Was this the Superman where he got drunk?
I think Superman 3 is one where he fought himself.
Is that Superman 3? Okay.
Yeah. This is the one where he fought Nuclear Man with the nails and the space and the moon.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Is this? Oh man. Rumor has it this is what the horse watched right before he kicked Reeves.
That's fucked up, man. Too soon.
No more.
Too soon.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Sin City 2 is trash, and I'm not overtly fond of any of the original Superman movies. So I just don't have a dog in this fight. So I'm just gonna go path of least resistance, Sin City 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's already been decided. So.
After you already done just trash my man Christopher Reeves, man.
I know.
I didn't trash him. That horse did.
All right, then I made a bracket all on my own. That's called Hot Trash Bracket. So in the Hot Trash Bracket, the number one thing we have there is Supergirl versus Judge Dredd 1995. Jason, what are your thoughts? Which one are you choosing here?
See, I believe Supergirl is one of those Corman films that was just there to cash in on the rights rather than to actually make a good movie, whereas Judge Dredd had, people working on it and trying to do good. So I'm going to get real flack for this, but I'm going to go with Judge Dredd. That shit was not good, even though I enjoyed it when I was a kid.
All right, Jaren, your thoughts?
See, it's interesting. I felt like at least the actress kind of had an idea of who her character was, versus Stallone wanting to take his helmet off every 5 seconds to get some screen time, clearly showing that he doesn't understand who Dredd is. So I guess I'm going to have to agree and go with Dredd being worse.
Oh, you guys have made my job easier. And what an upset. Judge Dredd at the 4th seed coming up and smacking down Supergirl. Plus, I mean, Supergirl's attractive to look at, even if the movie was terrible. So let's just go there. All right. We got the Battle of the Blackness, the Black Terrible rankings. We have Blade Trinity versus Shaquille O'Neal's Steel. Jaren, your thoughts? Which one are you taking here?
Oh, this is okay. So what we were talking about earlier is still going to hold true. Ryan Reynolds elevates things. So, yeah, I mean, Steel. It's an athlete trying to act. Just no. Yeah, Steel's worse.
Just because I want some drama here, I'm going to say Blade Trinity because you had 2 great blades. And you could have just followed the script a little bit, and they were like, nah, you know what? We're going to make it so that these white folks, they going to be like the new Blade. And we're going to say, Wesley Snipes, take a chill pill, man. We're going to make the new Blade, and it's going to be a team, not one guy. And it's like, whoa. I just carried this franchise through 2 movies that made a lot of money, and it was R-rated. How dare you do this to me? At least with Steel, we knew it was trash, but you know what? It didn't mess up a legacy. Nobody cares about Steel. So I'm going to go Blade Trinity just so we can make Jason, the Duke of Nerds, make a decision on what to have here.
There's so much to hate about both of these movies. I hate movies that are legacy characters that never mention the character they came from. So it's like, yeah, Steel's great, but like he's great as compared to Superman. But Blade Trinity is also a hot mess. They have fucking Dracula, but it's so, 2000s Ed Stores that they call him fucking Drake. Don't call me Dracula, I'm Drake. And all of it's bad. All of it is bad. But let's go with Blade Trinity because of the fact that Wesley Snipes acted like a diva in the whole entire movie. And they had to fucking digitally enhance his eyeballs to open. Because he would not open his eyeballs for his scene. And they had to base on open eyes for him.
Well, let's stay where we are then. We're going to go Dredd versus Blade Trinity. I'm going to jump off here then. I'm keep riding with the brother. Let's go Blade Trinity. Keep going straight in there. And then the only reason I'm going to take Blade Trinity over Dredd is because at least Dredd has quotable things in it. It's terrible, but it's quotable. Blade... You may quote some stuff, but it may be quoting all the bad stuff that happened off the film that Patton Oswalt told everybody. That's what you're quoting from that movie. So I'm going to go Blade Trinity because there's nothing redeeming about that movie that if you watch it, you won't have any fun. Please Judge Dredd, you'll have some fun. Jaren, your thoughts?
It is a quotable movie. Cock juggling thunder cunt. Thank you very much.
The one line that Ryan Reynolds improvises.
No. Every quotable line is Ryan Reynolds. Let's be real. I still think Dredd was worse. So again, a fundamental misunderstanding of the character is, in my opinion, completely laughable and offensive to anybody that's a fan of the character. So,
we'll put you back in the hot seat here.
I'm going to go with Blade Trinity, and here's why. Judge Dredd is a passable 90s action movie if you take away the Dredd factor. It is definitely like I had fun watching Judge Dredd as a 5th grader. So Blade Trinity as a 9th grader made me angry. So let's go with Blade Trinity. Even though Ryan Reynolds can do no wrong, unfortunately, there were other people in that movie besides Ryan Reynolds, and they did very much wrong.
Oh yeah, who was the girl?
True.
She was hot. At least she was fun.
It was
Jessica Biel.
Jessica Biel. Yeah.
Jessica
Shout out
Biel,
to
always
Justin
attractive.
Timberlake.
Yeah,
holding that down.
This is
all right. We're going
Justin
to
Timberlake.
my bracket, which we have The Spirit versus Sin City. You know my vote's The Spirit. I think is the worst comic book movie of all time. So we don't have to spend no time on me. Let's go on to you, Jaren. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I'm going to say Spirit too. Yeah, there's no question of the two.
All right, Jason.
Battle of the Edgelords. The Spirit wins.
Sorry, Frank Miller. You've done a lot of good stuff in your comic book.
He's only done like 1-2 good things, really. To really think about it, like all of his recent work has been god awful. Like,
Well, I'll give him respect for remodernizing Batman and Wolverine. I'll give him those credits. I guess you did say 2. So yeah, I guess.
I would say his run on Daredevil was it's
true.
quintessential. That's what Daredevil's about. And then Batman Returns, The Dark Knight Returns. Those two, and then everything else he's done has either been grossly offensive or just lackluster.
Is he like told Robin he's the MFing Batman? Yes,
he's the motherfucking Batman, and he abuses a child, and he has sex with the Black Canary while people are burning to death. No, like just because of that, fuck Frank Miller.
All right, we're here at Jaren's list. Here we have Catwoman versus the Phantom. Jaren, who are you taking in this matchup?
Mystical pharaoh powered cats can't lick somebody back to life, so Catwoman gets it.
All right, I guess I'll go next. Oh, go ahead. Let's go, Duke. You go next.
I was gonna say, but then isn't that what happened to Michelle Pfeiffer in Batman Returns? She gets licked back to life by cats. It's like literally the same scene, but
touche.
Still, at least in that one, she resembled Catwoman, and this it just doesn't make any. No, Catwoman is way worse than I like the Phantom. It was fun. No, Catwoman.
Okay, Catwoman advances, and for the record, it would have been a clean sweep. I probably would have taken Catwoman as well. At least the Phantom, because there's not a lot of people don't know about the Phantom, so it wouldn't have been. It's you said it's offensive that it was jacked up. All right, we're going to Jason's next up here. We got Suicide Squad versus the Justice League. Jason, who you got?
After watching this week's new release, it makes Suicide Squad even more egregious in how they got this so wrong. So I'm going to go with Suicide Squad, even though Justice League should have been a good movie too. They both should have been good movies, but Suicide Squad is definitely way worse because it just is.
Jaren, your thoughts?
I'm going to go against the grain on this one. I think the Justice League was more offensive to people that enjoy the characters that are portrayed on the screen. So I'm going to say I think of the two, I honestly what it comes down to is if Justice League came on television and I had to make an effort to reach for the remote, I would. And if the original Suicide Squad came on and Cara Delevingne's like dancing like some crazy witch lady, I'd probably leave it for a little bit longer. So that's literally what it comes. I mean, they're both trash. Let's be real. But.
Yeah, it's like which dumpster fire would you like to watch?
And they get by hair.
So you got Jason, you on Suicide Squad, Jaren, you on Justice League.
It's up to you, Jason.
Oh man!
Either way this goes, I'm fine with it. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean,
it's tough. You know what? I'm gonna have to go back to the fact that like Suicide Squad has just scenes that aren't even rightly placed. Like the fundamental thing of making a movie is just streamlining a story. There are scenes in Suicide Squad that like the thing that is supposed to happen before hasn't happened yet, and they're referencing it, and then it happens later, and it's like what? Like that. No one caught that in the editing booth. I was like, "Hey, you know this doesn't go there, right?"
There's a good reason why Suicide Squad did so poorly, and it's because when the trailer they had sent the trailer out to another company to do the trailer for it, and since the trailer was so well received, they were like, "Oh, you guys should edit the movie." And David Ayer was like, "No, I already got a cut of the movie," so they screened both editions, and they're like, "Oh, these both suck." And then so Warner Brothers came in and combined the two without really caring what either of the people said. So it's like all of it was fucked up from beginning with.
Right. All right. Well, Jason, let's go right back to you. Let's stay with you here. We have Suicide Squad versus Catwoman. This is the first interleague play here. So, what do you have here?
I don't wanna. This is too hard. Suicide Squad. I'm sorry. Ooh. I let you down, Catwoman. But like at the end of the day, I don't care about Catwoman.
Does anybody care about Suicide Squad?
The thing is, it's so bad it makes me angry. That's why. It's that I put it up here. Like Catwoman, I was like, oh, it's not gonna be good at all. Suicide Squad is like, oh, this is gonna be fun. And it wasn't. And that's like the fall was too hard for me.
All right. Well, Jaren, you the other choice you have Catwoman versus Suicide Squad. Catwoman was your choice. So what do you have here?
I'm definitely gonna have to make Jason make a choice here because it's definitely Catwoman. Suicide Squad at least nailed Amanda Waller. I mean,
Okay, that's a good point.
They got
Wow.
one character right. They didn't get a character right in Catwoman
because there were no characters in Catwoman.
Yeah. And let's be real. I just want to bring it back up. That basketball sequence. The fuck.
So bad.
Hey, look, Jaren, you sold me with the Amanda Waller thing. Yes, Catwoman, it is.
She deserved to win.
Catwoman to the finals. Next, we have the Spirit versus Blade Trinity, and I'll jump this one off because yeah. So I mean, it's simple for me. I mean, I'm going to keep rocking with the Spirit. I mean, it's tragic. So I'm just going to just leave it at that and just say, I mean, at one point, Sam Jackson's character hits the Spirit with a sink, a random sink. And like that was supposed to be something. That's how bad this movie was. Hitting it with the sink was like the moment. Now I know Blade Trinity has terrible shit like vampire dogs, but that's goofy and kind of funny. The Spirit was nothing goofy and funny at all in that. So I'm going to go with the Spirit as mine. Jaren, your thoughts?
I'm also gonna have to go with the Spirit winning this one because at least in Blade Trinity I laughed a little bit.
Jason, just your thoughts? Mean sweet, because Black Blade Trinity had Ryan Reynolds in that redeeming factor. So the Spirit is definitely worse.
All right, we have the Spirit. So everybody go ahead because we're trying to make a consensus top 3, just so everybody knows that. We're going to go back to the losers of the last round, and that's going to be our third place. So we have Blade Trinity versus Blade Trinity versus Suicide Squad. So, my friends, let's start off here with Jaren.
Like a losers bracket?
Yeah, we're having a number 3.
This is for third place.
A losers of the losers? Okay, so you're saying who is it?
Suicide Squad versus Blade Trinity. Which one is going to win number 3 here?
Oh, I mean, it's got to be of the two. Fuck. I think Trinity was worse than Suicide Squad. But again, we're talking like little fucking.
It's like we're slicing hairs.
Yeah, we really are here at this point.
All right, Jason, your thoughts?
I just have to go with Suicide Squad, man. That, as I said, like Blade Trinity, if it was a person, I'd be like, we don't need to hang out anymore. But if Suicide Squad was a person, regardless of like way that he was built or size or sex, I would cross the street to go kick its ass.
All right. So I'm going to give one cop to Suicide Squad. You guys ready for the one cop I'm going to give?
Let's hear it.
Batman's pretty awesome in Suicide Squad.
Touche. That's good.
So I'm going to have to go with Blade Trinity because Batman's pretty awesome in Suicide Squad.
I would agree with that too.
Yeah. So what's that? So that means what?
2-1.
Batman, Blade Trinity is the
third place. Is bad. Yes.
Movie that we've decided in comic book movie history, and I know some people are going to be like, "Well, you forgot. You guys didn't even put this movie in there." I know, but some movies.
Yeah, we didn't put it in there.
Captain America movies. Yeah, it was some Captain America TV kind of movie shit that we. But what about
Batman and Robin? Batman and Robin has George Clooney in it, and George Clooney is a fucking national treasure. Fuck you.
And that's exactly what my logic with it too. I was like, "There's George Clooney in it." I mean, I'm not going to hate on it too bad. There's George Clooney.
Want to give that man a hug?
And y'all know how I feel about Arnold. So. Yeah. Yes, that's another comp I'm giving on Batman and Robin. All right, we're down to our final 2 contestants here. We have Catwoman versus the Spirit. Let's go with so hold on, and I think Jason, did you take Catwoman?
No, I did.
Oh, you did. Okay, so then let's go ahead with Jason because I know I had the Spirit. So Jason has no dog in the fight here initially. Catwoman versus the Spirit, Jason.
They're both terrible. Can we just say they tie?
No, one got to go. One has to win second place.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. The Spirit. It sucks. It's just terrible. There's no redeeming quality to it. At least Halle Berry at one point was a good actress. She got Monsters Ball in her belt. I don't even remember anything about The Spirit. So, yeah, The Spirit.
Hey, Jason, I got a
Jared.
question for you. Jason. What happens to a toad when it's struck by lightning?
It loses its bracket.
Same thing to everything else.
That's not her fault. That's
Yeah.
not her fault. She just
Catwoman.
said it. She got a bad line, and there was no way that she could have ever made that line good. Like no one. I don't care who you are. Fucking Christian Bale couldn't have gone in there and made that line good. All right.
Wasn't that
Catwoman,
kid
Catwoman,
molester that
Catwoman.
wrote that line for her? The kid molester guy. We
Yeah.
won't speak his name. Yeah, we actually left his. Anyway, but go ahead. Sharing your thoughts.
All right, Catwoman. So it's up to you.
Yeah. I don't
I'm gonna
envy
go with
this
the
cast.
Spirit because I think at one point in time somebody will watch Catwoman and go, "Oh, Halle Berry was in this. Oh, that sucks." No one's ever gonna go to that and go, "Well, Sam Jackson was in this." Nah, that's kind of typical for Sam Jackson. We know he likes to do kind of trashy movies sometimes. So I'm gonna go with the Spirit just because, like, again, it's nothing redeemable about the Spirit. Nobody.
At least Catwoman gets number 2.
Yeah, right.
Still pretty bad. It goes in second place.
So yes, we have officially made our top 3 here for everybody that's paying attention at home or listening. Number 3 for our top 3 is going to be Blade Trinity. On the strength that Ryan Reynolds did keep us a little bit entertained, but because Wesley Snipes was a complete and utter asshole through the whole process of this making the movie, which I don't really blame him for. Just
of course.
FYI, you did try to take his franchise from up under him. So, okay. Number 2, we have Catwoman with Halle Berry. I mean, Halle Berry can get a lot of these. I mean, she got a Razzie Award for this one. Halle Berry was in, what was that movie, Baps? Like, Halle Berry has
She actually went and received the raspberry for this.
Good for her. That's even more that I'm glad she's number 2. But yeah, Halle Berry has some stinkers that we don't talk about because, it's Halle Berry and she's fine. And then the number 1 worst comic book movie of all time for our consensus top 3 is The Spirit. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, The Spirit. And some of you guys probably haven't even heard of The Spirit. Don't even know what The Spirit is. Let's just say if you took a bad, or even worse version of Sin City 2 and then did it again because the same look of it, and then was like, hey, but we don't have a story for this. And they go, well, don't worry about it. It looks cool. So people will like it.
We'll fix it in post.
Yeah, right. So
we're still writing.
There's our thoughts there. Yeah. So yeah.
They wrote the script 3 months after the movie came out.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll fix it in post.
Well, thank you for everyone for playing this, and we'll get back to some of the things you guys care about on the show. Because I mean, I'm pretty sure somebody is like, "Oh, this is terrible," because they didn't put 1990 something's Fantastic Four in with the Cormick edition. Like,
that didn't even come out.
Yeah, again, that was going to be my argument.
That was
that
never released publicly.
Yeah, but somebody's going to claim that shit too. So, all right, I know we promised some people that we're going to talk Batman, but we're going to save it for next week because I didn't realize the worst superhero segment was going to take so long, which is good. It's fun. No worries there. But if you haven't checked it out, please go check out the worst. We nailed down the top 3 worst superhero movies of all time. Yeah, you'll enjoy that one. So I figure we just go ahead and end the show after all these reviews, Rick and Morty talk, nerd news, and all that. Guys, everybody, please, thank you so much for all the feedback and everybody's enjoyment of the show. If there's things that we could do better, let us know. If you want to come on here and talk your smack and tell us how we're wrong and make us realize that, you know what, maybe you may be right. We'll probably tell you you're wrong, but maybe we'll tell you you're right. You're more than welcome to comment below that you want to be on the show and let us know, and we'll link up and get you on here so we can talk movies, TV shows, and everything kind of in the culture that we can find or want to do within a lot of the amount of time we have. So, as always, again, yes, remember to like, share, subscribe, be notified when we post. Again, you can listen to us on all DSPs. That's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Anchor FM, anywhere you listen to your podcast, you can find us there. And like I said before, we're going to put these out in segments. So if you're possibly on YouTube, you just watch one of our segments, which is great. Go click onto one of our next segments. So we're probably going to be in these indie credits anyway, leading to the next segment that we probably had as well, or another movie review. So please join us for that one. So before we sign off, as always, let's say goodbye to our crew. Jaron the Token, anything you'd like to say to everybody before we leave?
I mean, at this point, I think we should keep pushing the Batman conversation back indefinitely. Just every single week, we come up with a reason to talk about it next week because it's kind of fucking funny now. But yeah, I'll leave you with that thought.
You may actually that may be the thing. Like everybody's like, man, when are you finally going to get to this? Hey, take it easy.
Give me its own
Official
special
sign off.
episode.
Right? Jason, number A, Duke of all nerds. Any closing words?
I want to reiterate that Batman is a superhero, whether Jen believes so or not.
Easy
But
going.
also be kind and tip your servers and bartenders at least 20%. Please. Thank you very much.
And as always, we will see you all next week. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you all
Do the
next week.
things.